All right, here we are, day one in Ghana, Africa. It's Monday, right?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
days
Monday.
get a little confusing, but it is Monday. We're in Ghana. Last night we had an amazing time. We were able to speak to Jason Anderson, the CEO of the Debt Box. This is so much bigger than we could have ever imagined. And Ricardo, I think the biggest kind of shock, well, there were so many shocks, but the biggest one was how long they've been here. Like, even when we would try to describe this to people, we would be like, you know, they've been around for 3 years building this infrastructure. We found out last night it's more like over a decade.
Yeah.
So when you heard that, you know, message from Jason, you know, how did you react to that? What did you think?
I mean, to me, it's huge because you have to understand that we're leveraging the years and experience and work and equity that they put in to building this project, to make the relationships, to actually pull out the resources, to have a success story. This is not an overnight company. This is not even a 2-year-old company. This is over 15 years in the making. And what we're able to do is leverage what they have built and create and benefit from the wealth and access that they have. And that's just phenomenal to be in that position this early.
And I think one of the biggest takeaways I took from what Jason said was, we're the best kept secret in crypto. And I would argue they're the best kept secret in almost the entire world. And what you guys have to understand is, he's doing this on purpose. Once you get to a certain financial status, you don't really want to be out there, whether it's for safety, whether it's so you're not getting sued or breaking regulations. So you have to understand, they've been on an entire different level for well over a decade. And we got to meet you know, their dad, who's been building connections and infrastructure here, helping the people of Ghana. So you got to understand that they're moving in a completely different way than the most typical people are used to, of being loud and boisterous. Oh, we got Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Real people with real wealth build silently in the background and wait for others, because they don't need to go out and advertise.
Yeah. You know, I mean, this is huge. There's literally nothing like this in this space. This is revolutionary. It's like being a part of Apple in its beginning. You know what I mean? It's like the Amazon. I mean, it really is that big. And it's not that we're hoping that it's that big, or there is that we're building it to be that big. It literally already is. You know what I mean? And so this is where it's like, we just got to go out and help more people. You know, we really got to help people understand the magnitude of what's taking place in this space, in this country, and just around the world, and what we're doing, the relationships that we have. I mean, you guys are going to see some of the footage, but, you know, we're going to sit down with a lot of local officials and presidents, and the relationships that they have with major oil companies that are already on board. And, you know, we were talking about the carbon credits, and we're talking about the partners that they have, you know, that do the exploration and everything. I mean, it's just mind-blowing, folks. It's not hypo speculation. This is a real deal.
And one thing Jason talked a lot about was, rather than just taking, you know, all the profits when they get this, what they're doing is almost like reinvesting back into the community. Because if let's use the example of, let's say they have 2 acres to grow agriculture and get carbon credits from. Well, if you just take those profits every time, you're just going to continue to, profits will pretty much stay the same. Whereas if you take some of those profits, reinvest it back into capital, better tractors, better whatever it is. He even talked about some of the workers having nodes that they give them.
Yeah, the workers get nodes.
Yeah, and that's changing their life. You know, like a node's kicking out what somebody would make in a year here working, you know, full time.
Yeah.
So now, instead of just having 2 acres, you're giving them better capital, better infrastructure. Now they expand that out to 4, 6, 8, 10, and you're just essentially compounding what they're able to get by helping the community actually grow and have success.
Yeah, you know, it's really dynamic, the strategy and the technique that they're employing here to reduce waste and cost, which increases profitability, you know, and exposure. And, you know, we talked, and there's about 5 other countries in Africa that is ready, that's in discussion right now to use our technology to, like, go on board and implement this successful strategy and system that we have that enriches not only the node owners, but the countries, the people, because of its efficiency, less waste, because the workers themselves own nodes. I mean, he said that people on the farms that are, you know, working the farms, they own nodes. And I mean, this is mind-blowing.
And I just brought me something else that Jason said is, he's like, you know, I'm glad you guys in America are making money. You guys are crushing it. but my heart and passion is with the third world, of opening this up to Indonesia, South America. You know, they've already built up India, more of Africa. And that's what, you know, Joe Martinez talked about that a lot in Barcelona. Jason has the same passion of, they're dreaming bigger. You know, they're talking about how many hospitals can we build, how many schools can we build, how many, you know, farms and mining companies can we actually help change people's lives. So that's, again, I just love the heart and passion that the company has.
Yeah, I mean, dream bigger, folks. Like, literally dream bigger. This is, you know, what a lot of people have been praying for in a lot of different ways. And what I mean by that is you've been looking for a real solid opportunity that's going to put you in position to have a better lifestyle. You know what I mean? That's going to put you in position to have some better options and choices in life. And a lot of times it just comes down to who you know, what you know, and the action that you take. And I'm telling you right now that we're in this space for a reason. We know what we know, and we're here to do what we're supposed to do because we're changing lives. And this system that the Debt Box has created and the organization that IX Global has started and continuing to expand, exponential growth, a lot of success, fastest growing company in this industry ever. Okay, and we're building so much underground, under the radar, that when people really start to realize what we have, it's going to be a massive explosion, and you're going to look so good and be so happy that you got in early before everybody started talking about it. You've been mining, acquiring these assets, and you've been in position.
And the last point I'll make that kind of shocked me yesterday is a lot of the people here are not even really in IX Global, or they're newly into it. These are people that have known Joe or Jason for years, decades, and they just got in with Debt Box. You know, they were buying nodes straight from the Debt Box when they first started, and they bought lots of them. And they didn't even really know about IX Global. They didn't even know about, you know, the discounted nodes. They didn't know about that you can earn money from the compensation plan. And again, that's why we love this, is we would be doing this even if there was no compensation plan. The compensation plan is just the whipped cream, the chocolate, and the cherry on top. So to me, that blew me away of how many millionaires have already been created without even the compensation plan.
Yeah. And I mean, folks, when we talk about nodes, and they were talking about over 1,000. I don't know if you're part of this conversation, but I think you talk about they had over 1,000 gallon nodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they, you know, so they understand, you know, what the power of these nodes, but also that, you know, it's the origin story of how you talk about the relationships, how IX Global got started. You know, how Joe Martinez put this together, where they came from. And then how the Debt Box got started. You know, it goes back to, you know, their father being in this industry, in this space, and the relationships that they created, and the work that they put in on the ground for decades now. And then now bringing this to fruition with the node process and connecting with a company like IX to be able to bring this to the masses of people and change lives. But it's huge because they do have a heart and mind, like I said, for the third world, you know what I mean, for the underprivileged, you know what I mean, giving us and everybody access to opportunity and wealth where there was none before. And this is why we're so excited about blockchain. You know, the market is down right now, but this is where the millionaires and billionaires are made. People get scared and flooded out of this industry, in this space, in any industry or space, when there's negative press or there's some adverse effects going on. But it's those who stay in that space and start to continue and study and find real projects in that space that blow up to create untold wealth, just like in the dot-com bubble when we talk about, you know, Amazon and Apple and Google and all the other major companies that we know today that have created untold wealth.
When the tide goes out, you see who's been swimming naked. That's what's happening right now in the crypto market, with FTX and other exchanges seem to be struggling. And the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is a question Jason asked us last night. Would you rather make $6 million a year?
A month.
A month? $6 million a month? Or own a $22 billion company? That's what their goal is. That's what their mission is. So it's just a little after lunch on Monday. We're about to meet with Shad, who's their local guy who runs the Debt Box here. He's going to go through the scanning technology and show us how that works specifically in Ghana. So we're going to be bringing you guys more content on that. So make sure you look on our channels and find that. Other than that, we good?
Thanks up. Let's get wealthy. Catch you on the next live stream.
Peace.